Hey there again, folks. Welcome back to my Let's Play of Remember11, The Age of Infinity. And when we last left off, Satoru was investigating something, I would say. So, see what his investigations have turned up. The thing that should have been there wasn't. The most precious treasure had been snatched away. My precious! I was driven to distraction over the loss of that important symbol.
ないどこだどこに行っちまったんだ
And groped around my lower body in desperation, searching for what was lost. Well, a lot of times when you lose stuff, you would say, search every nook and cranny, but it could be a little awkward if you were to do such a thing. So I would suggest not to do that, Satoru. Confusion and bewilderment can't come close to describing the way I felt. This is a state of emergency, an emergency equal to the destruction of the world. Sorry, guys. You know, I know you're busy. You know, the world's falling apart, everything, but I've lost my penis. Does somebody help me find it, please? That would be a very strange thing. Like, hey, Superman. Hey, instead of deflecting that missile coming, you know, at the city, can you help me find something? But no matter where and how much I searched, I couldn't find it. This looks, I bet this looks really inappropriate if anybody's watching this right now. Talking about Yomogi or Uni or Mayuzumi, if they're seeing him searching, I bet it looks like something else. Obviously, it couldn't be like, it couldn't do something like crawl out from under the bed. So well, if it did, he'd have a whole nother set of problems. This is the body of a stranger, a woman's body. Furthermore, it's happening in a dream. I know that, but I couldn't help muttering it.
ない
With both hands still between my legs, I howled up at the heavens. I'm picturing Kokuro's face kind of superimposed, you know, in that scene from Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, whatever. When he shouts, Khan!
なんでないんだ
He's freaking out worse than she did. Maybe that's the cause of the avalanche. Maybe it's a delayed reaction. Maybe Satoru's the reason that they die. Thanks, Satoru. I felt a pair of eyes bore into me, so I rolled around. Oh my gosh. 3 figures stood in front of the table. They've been watching this the whole time. That is so awesome. And awkward. Incredibly awkward, but yet awesome. Their mouths hung wide open as they stared straight at me. The cigarette dropped from Yomogi's lips. Uni's glasses were slipping down. Around Lynn's mouth are the remnants of a popped bubblegum bubble. I looked down. Oh wow. Something a woman shouldn't expose in public was in plain sight. 2 hands were spread across an unfortunate place. I slowly adjusted the position of my hands and stood up, dusting off my skirt as I did.
いやまああれですよあれほら かゆかったかなみたいな。
Wow. That could be awkward for Kokoro later if one of them comes up and says, "Hey, do you need this product?"
かゆい？
あ、窓の外に雪んこが。
Pointed behind them. Snow fairy. They all took the bait and oh my gosh, really? And turned around. Immediately ran away, seeking refuge in the basement. But I can't help but be amazed that the oldest trick in the book actually worked. From the rectangular opening above the ladder, I could hear the sound of whispering voices. I could just about make out what they were saying.
ベッドがどこかに縛り付けといた方がいいのよ。このままじゃ何されるか分かったものじゃないもの。
いや、いくらなんでもそれはまずいだろう。相手は女の子だぞ。
ほっとけばいいんじゃないの？別に危害を加えるわけでもないんだし。
While listening attentively, I started to think, this is so stupid. What the hell am I doing? This is a dream, right? It's not real. So why did I get embarrassed and hide down here? While it was true that I'd lost my beloved symbol, it was nothing to mourn over. His beloved symbol. Hopefully it's not like a trophy that he puts on the wall, and hopefully he doesn't over polish it, because that could be a bad habit. I decided to accept this phenomenon in a manly fashion by screaming at the sky, apparently. But then, what if this world wasn't a dream? But Sophia in this cabin, the possibility that both could be real is unimaginable, right?
まさかな。
I shook my head and quickly tossed the idea aside. After climbing the ladder, I stealthily peeked up at the first floor.
ひとまず当分の間は何事もなかったかのように普通に接することにしよう。
I'm sure Kokoro appreciates that.
彼女を刺激しないで。
Uni was the first one to notice me after I poked my head out. With the tip of one finger, Uni prodded at Yomogi, who then turned to face me.
いや、どこに行ってたんだい？突然姿を消しちまったもんだから探したよ。
That tone of voice was so forced. It's a bit hard to hide in this place. The basement storeroom comprised the only other floor.
そんなところに隠れてないで。ほら、上がってこいよ。みんな君のことを待ってたんだぞ。
Yomogi spread his arms wide, trying to look welcoming. Uni was looking away, his lips pursed in a sour expression. Then just blew another bubble with her gum as he filled with a piece of firewood. Sure didn't look like either of them had been waiting. Well, whatever. Climbed back up and sat down on one of the log chairs beside the table. The cold atmosphere permeated the room. Everyone was trying to stay calm and composed. So was I. We were playing dumb, pretending that nothing had happened just now. The newly gathered newspaper scraps were piled up on the table. From the looks of things, it had been torn up pretty haphazardly and definitely by hand. There was no regularity in the size of the scraps, and the soft fiber of the paper was exposed along the edges. What does it mean? Are they trying to make confetti out of it? Yes, I'm sure they are. We're trapped in a cabin. Let's throw a party. Confetti everywhere.
ユニ、下にガムテープがあっただろう。持ってきてくれないか。
分かった。
He disappeared down the ladder.
さて、君にも手伝ってもらおうかな。
Mugi sat in front of me as he spoke.
ジグソーパズルだよ。
ジグソーパズル？
ここに積まれた新聞紙を元通りに復元するんだ。
なぜ？
君がこの新聞紙を破いた理由。
俺が破いた？
Oops.
そうだよ。問い返すところを見ると覚えていないようだね。ああ、答える必要はない。こんな問答を繰り返しても無意味だからね。とにかく君はここに書かれている記事を見るなり前後不覚に陥ってしまった。叫んで暴れて こいつをビリビリに引きちぎって、この山はそうして生まれたんだ。もちろん納得してくれなんて言わない。疑ってもらっても構わない。ただ僕は気になってるんだ。ここにはとても大事な何かが書かれているような気がする。君の精神を極限状態へと追い詰めるほどの何かが。どうかな、手伝ってもらえないだろうか。
So, there was something in here that drove you crazy. You want to help me put it back together again so you can go crazy again? There's no reason to refuse. Besides, like Yomogi, I want to know why the newspaper was torn up.
しょうがねえな。どっから手つけりゃいいんだ？
As Yomogi nodded with a small smile, he spread out the mountain of paper. I guess it's a way to pass time too, you know. They don't have any actual jigsaw puzzles. Maybe that's what. It'd be amusing if they had done that on purpose for that purpose.
違う。そこはこっちでしょ。活字が逆向いてんじゃないのよ。あ、そっか。よもぎ、そこも違う。ちゃんとページ番号振ってあるんでしょうが、ここに。
え？ああ、本当だ。
おいこら、そこの女、あんたさっきから何やってんのよ。
え？
女って言ったら私の他にはあんたしかいないじゃない。こら、無視すんなっつの。何やってんのって聞いてんでしょ。
何って、新聞を復元してるんだけど。
何のために？
記事を読めるようにするために。
で、あんたが今手に持ってる切れ端は？
ポコポコちゃんって書いてあるな。
4コマじゃん。そんなもん再生してどうすんのよ。たくあんたたちパズルの才能ゼロでしょ。そういう理由は？
さっきから手が動いてないみたいだけど。
私はいいの、現場監督なんだか
ら。なんだよそれ。
文句あんの？
いえ、ないです。
However, the supervisor soon joined Uni and our work advanced quickly. Or so I thought, but...
ねえ、冬川さん、そこの切れ端取ってくれないかな。
With that unexpected utterance, my hands froze. Fuyukawa slowly raised my face, almost as if I were pulling it up.
それだよ。君の手の下にある切れ端。
Yomogi was looking straight at me. Just to be sure, I turned around to look. Must be talking about me. There's no one behind me. That means that Yomogi was calling me Fuyukawa.
冬川って、冬川心のことか。
I turned around and asked. A scrap of paper fell from Yomogi's hand. Uni and Lin both stopped what they were doing simultaneously. Only the flame of the lantern continued its flickering. Picking up the piece Yomogi had asked for and joining it with a nearly complete page, I mused aloud.
冬川心か。それが俺の、この肉体の所有者の名前なんだな。
Yomogi answered with a firm nod. At that moment, I finally understood what had happened to my body. Yomogi Seiji, Mayuzumi Lin, Kusada Uni, and Fuyukawa Kokoro are all here. Furthermore, we're inside a shelter cabin engulfed by a blizzard. I'm getting fed up with the slow speed of my thoughts. Uni slowly opened his mouth. I kept my own shut as I carefully listened to his speech. The main point was this. Yomogi, Uni, Lin, and Fuyukawa Kokoro, these four people had all boarded a small passenger plane flying toward Wakanai. But on the way, the plane crashed due to some sort of problem. They were then thrown deep into the recesses of snowy Mount Akakura. The time of the crash was around 7 hours ago, a little past 4 p.m. The date was January 11th, of course. Then they miraculously survived uninjured and had wandered around in a snowstorm for a while before arriving at this mountain cabin. Formal name, Mount Akakura Emergency Shelter Cabin, as Uni discovered before. They survived through the twin calamities of the crash and the blizzard and managed to reach the shelter cabin, where they could finally rest. When the storm settles, the rescue team's helicopters will surely arrive, or so they believe. However, an unexpected situation occurred, and the origin of the situation was none other than me. Yukito Satoru's personality and Fuyukawa Kokoro's existence. And he spoke.
墜落のショックで突発的に DID になっちゃったんだと思うよ。精神的にすごいダメージを受けて、その耐え難い苦痛から逃れるためにココロンはもう一人の人格を自分の中に生み出してしまったんだ。ありえないわ。急性の多重人格障害なんて聞いたことないもの。この女は嘘をついてるだけなのよ。第一、この女は私しか知らないはずの有機道悟という名前を。
Held myself back and endured the impulse to object, because now simply wasn't the right time to lash out. At any rate, figuring out this mysterious phenomenon is a higher priority. Let's continue with the talk. Any reasons that Yukito Satoru's personality is a fictitious existence produced by Fuyukawa Kokoro's consciousness? Mugi just shook his head. Naturally, I didn't support the theory either, because I had memories of Sophia. What if those are fake? Couldn't answer that dissenting voice inside me. There's no proof either for or against that theory. In any case, I have no memory. None that isn't related to Sophia or the shelter cabin anyway. Is Yukito Satoru's personality a fictitious existence produced by Fuyukawa Kokoro's consciousness after all? No, there's no way something so ridiculous could be true. Logic is useless in this case. I am me. I'm Yukito Satoru. My definite consciousness can't be the product of someone's imagination. Sudden DID, absolutely absurd. Childhood trauma is the main cause of dissociative personality disorder. New personalities aren't suddenly shaken into existence due to a plane crash or two. That's right, Uni's theory had to be wrong. There has to be some other way to explain this. The discussion over, Uni put his lips near my ear and whispered to me. Those words that he quietly said to me. I guess Yomogi and Lin didn't catch the whisper as they both wore expressions of unmasked doubt. As for myself, I too felt the same. I didn't get the true meaning of Uni's words at all. Okay. We'd finished restoring the newspaper during Uni's speech. Was it because of the combined efforts of 4 people? We'd made far more progress than I thought. Yomogi folded up the patchwork newspaper like it had been before. He laid it flat on the table before our eyes. The 4 of us crowded around. My eyes were fixed on the headline. July 4, 2011, 3 decomposed male and female corpses found on Mount Akakura. Missing passengers from the Hao crash. Oh, okay. Okay, I was about to get confused. The Aomori Prefectural Police confused. I'm confused if I'm thinking announced as confused. The Aomori, said that wrong. Prefectural Police announced the recent discovery of the remains of 3 men and women on Aomori's Mount Akakura. I can't remember how to say it. Daniel, you told me how to say it, and I can't remember now. Lives of victims of the crash of HAL 18, which claimed 27 lives this January, as they had undergone extensive decomposition over a period of 6 months. The identities of the bodies are unclear, but they are assumed to be the last 3 unaccounted for among the missing passengers and crew members on HAL 18. The bodies were discovered 1 kilometer east of the Mount Akakura shelter cabin, and it has been confirmed that the 3 received a large number of lacerations believed to have been caused by an avalanche, which they were caught in soon after surviving the crash. However, due to the bodies of the victims being discovered away from the route down the mountain, the Aomori Prefectural Police investigation into the day of their death will continue. According to Aomori Weather Observation Department, an avalanche affected Mount Akakura and its surrounding area occurred on January 17, 2011 at around 6:53. After analyzing the traces left on Mount Akakura shelter cabin, it was concluded that those who had used it survived for 7 days after crash. The horrific crash of Flight 18 with the discovery of the 3 bodies claimed 30 lives out of 31 crew members and passengers aboard. The name of the survivor, Kusada Uni-kun, 11, age 11. The names of the 3 discovered bodies, Yomogi Seiji-san, age 35, Mayuzumi Lin-san, age 23, Fuyikawa Kokoro-san, age 20. The instant I finished reading that, a chill ran down my spine. From the moment the name Fuyikawa left Yomogi's mouth, I had somehow felt it. But after seeing this page, the premonition had turned into conviction. I know of this incident, of course. I remember very clearly. A plane crash on this scale hadn't happened for decades in this country. If any Japanese person had taken a glance at the paper or TV news around that time, they'd remember this horrible accident. However, that just wasn't the case with me. Regarding this accident, I alone was in a unique position among the majority of the Japanese population. Mayuzumi Lin, the woman who was once my girlfriend, had boarded that plane. I remember it clearly. Lin lost her life in that incident exactly 1 year ago. But right now, before my eyes, yo, hey Lin. Lin. On seeing the article, Lin had frozen still, staring off in a daze. Her face growing pale, she stood rooted to the spot as though close to death. Yomogi and Uni 2 could do nothing but blink and hold their breath. They were reduced to ice sculptures. Get a grip, no matter what, just get a grip. Sacking myself up the best I could, I looked around. First of all, I had to make sure that this really was the shelter cabin on Mount Akakura. A door entered my field of vision. I thought of saying something to them, but changed my mind, feeling that it would be pointless. After taking the lantern off the table, I strode out through the door without a word. Yeah. That's the thing to do. Outside was the blizzard. Hey Blizzard, how you doing? You feeling chilly today? The snowflakes descended without end, advancing on me in cold waves. Hopefully it's not being jarry. I've been noticing a couple times it's saying coding slowly thing or something on OBS. I went down. I bent down, held my hands over my head, and directed the glow of the lantern toward the entrance. There's a sign fixed there. Mount Akakura Emergency Shelter Cabin. Those words were clearly written on the sign. However, I couldn't just believe what I read on a single sign. Looked out into the darkness. I couldn't see anything. Was this really Mount Akakura? I felt as if its true shape was concealed, hidden on the other side of that darkness. I boldly threw myself into the snowfield. Not a smart thing to do, Satoru. Well, look how busy. Well, that explains one instance of why he was outside at one of those times that she zipped back to him, or zipped back to her own body. But that happened a lot. It will be interesting to see why he left the cabin so many times. Where is he? I guess we'll find out where he is in the next episode of Remember 11, The Age of Infinity. I do hope you folks enjoyed, and I shall see you guys in the next one. See you later, folks.